Please have a roll call.
Okay, let the record show all commissioners are present except Commissioners Vanduaura, Commissioner Kamarat, and Vice Chair Hansen.
Thank you. And if everyone, if able, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We don't have any special presentations and proclamations today, so we're moving on for oral communications. Do we have any oral communications?
We do not have any white speaker slips tonight.
Thank you. There are also no changes to the agenda, so moving on to approval of minutes for the December 17th, 2024 special meeting minutes. May I please have a motion to approve the special meeting minutes?
I move.
And may I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All right, fantastic. The motion passes. We barely had a quorum today, so I appreciate the commissioners that were able to come this evening. Moving on to the next action item, number 8, the Parks and Recreation Commission work plan. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be reviewing our work plan, which much of it is completed. The commissioners are now working on creating some final outcome language, which will then be finalized next month, and then it will be sent up to City Council once we finalize all the outcome language, and that will also end this particular term year in February, and then we'll start again fresh again in March. So let's go ahead and just start with number 1. Some of the work plan language has been updated with final outcome language in the last column. And what I'm going to do is just basically pass it over to the commissioners that are members involved in that, if they want to speak to it at all, or if they have any additional changes that they'd like to make, we can go ahead and do that. So starting with work plan item number 1 regarding the staff, the annual tours. Commissioner Evers, did you want to address any of that or any other additional comments?
No additional comments. Looks good.
One thing that I would just recommend is in the last sentence, I would recommend where it says potential future pickleball uses, I think it should also say tennis. So should potential tennis and pickleball uses. If the ad hoc might agree with that, which I guess.
I agree.
Okay, great.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, so we'll, if the commission is fine with that particular outcome language with the addition of tennis in that last line to indicate that it would be to view current and potential future tennis and pickleball uses. Great. The next one regarding attending city events. Let's see, who do we have there? Commissioner Capiello, did you want to address any of those? Any other thoughts?
No, for at least for the events that I participated in, I don't have anything else to add.
I would also suggest some additional events that we could add. And I just want to make sure that we have clarity as to whether we had commissioners that were participating in them. I do know that I participated in the spring egg hunt. Even though it got rained out, we did do kind of a drive-through spring egg hunt, which was maybe was even more fun because of the rain. I've also participated in art nights, and I think some other commissioners may have participated in that. I wasn't quite sure whether we had any commissioners involved in the Moonlight Beach concerts. Do you remember?
Manager Hamer, I do think Vice Chair Hansen has helped with the concerts. I
Okay.
don't know if, in the most recent year, but I know he has helped.
That's how I recall that as well. The last one that I thought of was the Dog Days of Summer. Did anyone, I was out of town that weekend. Anyone participate this year on that? Okay, then we could probably leave that one off. But I would recommend adding the spring egg hunt, art nights, and then the Moonlight Beach concerts to that list. Any other, any thoughts from the commission? Are we okay with that? Okay, great. The next work plan item, number 3, guest speakers. I can speak to that. That particular language is our final outcome language, and I don't have any additional changes to make on that one. And if you want to just give me a nod that you're happy with it, then we'll move on to the next one. I'll wait for you to finish reading it. All right, then moving on to number 4, the volunteer promotion and recruitment. This particular one still has the projected outcome language on it, and I would just turn to the ad hoc to see if any final outcome language has been put together yet for it.
For number 4, no, but I will finalize something in line with what was done in regards to promoting volunteer program or other events.
Okay. This should be a pretty easy one to finalize, and we'll have that language sent over to Manager Norgard between now and our next meeting. That would be great. Considering that I don't have the full ad hoc here on the commission, I don't think it's appropriate for us to go ahead and develop that now. Moving on to work plan item number 5, which is the adult fitness equipment. This copy that is in there is our final outcome copy for the ad hoc, and I don't have any changes or recommendations. And again, if you just give me a nod once you've kind of read through it and you feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Work plan item number 6. I understand we have a speaker that would like to address it. So, Mr. Fisher, could you go ahead and call the speaker?
Yes, we have one speaker, Sunny Kim. You have 3 minutes to address the commission.
Thank you for the opportunity to comment on the working plan agenda item to reprioritize the 2 public courts at Cottonwood Creek Park. As I understand it from your December meeting, you wish to make it 6 designated group play and 2 open play pickleball-only courts. I want you to know that while pickleball is popular, it should not come at the expense of tennis. As a 31-year resident of the city of Cardiff and a local business owner here in Encinitas, I urge the city to find a more balanced situation. I also feel that at the last meeting, you did not represent tennis particularly well and only sought out the opinions of pickleball players who don't even reside in our city. For instance, as an alternative, I suggest that pickleball could be set up on underutilized basketball courts at Scott Valley, Leucadia Oaks, Olympus, and Glen Echo. I also suggest that you consider using middle schools and high schools. Their playgrounds, the basketball courts, and possibly tennis courts could be cooperatively used for municipal use. I want to remind this commission that the original working plan for Cottonwood Creek Park 21 years ago included twice the number of courts that were delivered. It's crucial to honor the original vision and retain at least one tennis court at this park to ensure public access for children of all ages as well as adults. I strenuously urge that the Park and Rec Department consider using a major use permit to develop Encinitas Lot L7 as a park for active recreational activities such as tennis, pickleball, table tennis, dance. Upon investigation, I have no doubt that considering the L7 parcel could help meet the city's growing demand for active recreation for all of the community. I hope that we can work together to create a more inclusive plan that reflects the needs of all of your residents here in Encinitas. My name is Sunny Kim. I've resided in Cardiff for 31 years. I am the co-owner of Seaside Rackets, a local tennis, pickleball, paddle, badminton, racket specialty shop in Encinitas. I thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day and evening to come and speak with the commission. We'll certainly note your comments. Now turning to item 6 with regards to the work plan item. This one currently displays the projected outcome copy, and I understand that ad hoc is still working on the exact language as to what that will end up being. So at this point, we'll go ahead and allow the ad hoc to finalize that, and then we'll come back with a final copy on our February meeting. But please send it as soon as you can to Manager Norgard. This particular one is high visibility. Obviously, the public is interested in our viewpoints on this and what our recommendations might be to park staff and city council. So let's give some time for staff to take a look at it and kind of work back and forth with the ad hoc on that.
And I have just a clarification. Yeah, there's been a couple drafts of addressing what's been done for this, but one of the issues that came up was just the extent of whatever recommendations the ad hoc might have versus the commission. My understanding is we're still debating it, so there was a reluctance from some of us to include actual recommendations just yet without completing more feedback from the community and staff. So if you have indication or if staff does as to whether or not they really are wanting to have the ad hoc come up with recommendations for what we think could happen versus just keeping that open-ended and continue into next year's sessions for the debate, that would be helpful for finalizing this.
And what I might recommend is either doing a Teams meeting or an in-person meeting with staff, with the ad hoc, and then you can kind of work out some of those details. So I think maybe a conversation between the ad hoc and staff is going to be helpful to kind of propose the path forward on that particular outcome.
Okay, thanks.
Manager Norgard, did you want to address that at all?
Chair Ritter, you said it well. I think we're really close on this. The goal was to make some recommendations, and the ad hoc's done that. Like Commissioner Capiello mentioned, maybe a little bit more discussion with the full commission. But I think at this point, the ad hoc has met their goals of making some recommendations. And I think we can have a discussion about, how to implement some of those and maybe carrying into the next work plan year to include some more public comment.
Thanks.
And I would just say that, by the nature that the ad hoc has so much discussion as to the outcome and what the recommendation might be, and that there might be some conflict even within the ad hoc as to what is the best path forward, details how challenging this particular question is to try to find this balance and between tennis and pickleball so that everyone feels like they get a chance to play. So it is something that, first of all, we really appreciate the in-depth presentation that you made last month. It was very informative. I think that hearing from the community even more would be beneficial. I would say that, you know, when you take a look at the projected outcome language originally, where it was, you know, commissioners will monitor and review tennis and pickleball court use to make recommendations for future usage. You've definitely done that. Commissioners will also review the results of the feasibility study underway for sport court planning at Encinitas Community Park. We've received the presentation, and to those in the audience that have interest in it, we're looking at the opportunity of adding both pickleball and tennis to Encinitas Community Park, and that's basically a presentation that was sent to City Council last year, towards the end of last year, but it's one of those things where they would have to allocate funds for a budget to do that. So basically, that was just a feasibility study to see in various locations in the park whether we might be able to add those amenities to it. And it came back that, yes, we could add those amenities, that it would still fit within the master plan for that park. And it's basically up to City Council to decide whether they want to allocate budget towards that goal. Anything else on that particular work plan item?
Just a reminder that at the end of the last meeting in December, it seemed like the commission did agree that we wanted to recommend continued usage of Moonlight beach courts, but we didn't actually vote on that. So if that's something that we want to do now, I'm ready to throw out a language to that effect. But if it's something we want to wait until next meeting, that's fine too.
I think since we're in this unusual situation of only having 4 commissioners here, that I would love to have the full commission to participate in that vote. And since we're not on a timeline to make that happen, I agree. I feel like there was consensus among the commissioners, but I would like to make sure that we have them all present to provide a vote. And that was the final thing that was directed under that particular work plan copy, and thank you for bringing it up. And that is commissioners will also investigate removing the tennis pickleball court at Moonlight Beach and replacing it with a court at Cottonwood Creek. So that was City Council directed for us to look into that, and so for us to go ahead and reply back with a recommendation on that is important.
Okay, so we'll do that next meeting.
Sounds great. All right, moving on to work plan item number 7, which is the pop-up parks. So our final outcome copy is not necessarily as it is here, and I'll just read to you what it will end up being. It's similar to the update, but slightly different just because we wanted to add another movie night at Glen Park that we actually also held a pop-up park. So we're recommending that the final outcome copy be commissioners hosted a pop-up park at the May 19th Cyclovia event. The pop-up park included a pickleball court set up on Highway 101, cornhole games, and opportunities for the public to learn more about parks, recreation, and cultural arts, and the Parks and Recreation Commission. Commissioners also hosted pop-up parks at both the May 4th and October 19th movie nights at Glen Park. Does the commission have anything to add? Okay, great. Let's move on to trails, work plan item number 8. This work plan item actually has the final outcome language in it, so I'll give you a moment to read through it. My only recommendation as you're reading through it is there's a little typo there. I would change outer spatial, which is spelled with a C, to outer spatial, so it's SPATIAL. And technically, the app name is one word. It's kind of a techie thing to do, but that's the way they do it. So it's outer spatial, one word, the O is capitalized, the S is capitalized. But I didn't have any other comments on that particular work plan item.
I know that all of the ad hoc members reviewed this before this was submitted and agreed with the language. But I'm fine with that change. I think that's accurate.
Commissioner Quinn, did you have something you wanted to say? No. Okay. All right, so that leads us to number 9. And the copy there is that you see on the screen is actually the projected outcome copy. Our final copy that we would recommend and we'll present to Manager Norgard is The ad hoc invited the Carta Foundation to make a special presentation in April to publicly share the detailed project drawings and the current project status in the city permitting process. Using his financial expertise, Vice Chair Hansen assisted the Carta Foundation file federal and state tax and charitable foundation documents to bring them back into good standing. The foundation is awaiting permit approvals before seeking additional public and financial support. All right, great. Moving on to work plan item number 10. We're getting through this pretty quickly. Regarding Friends of Encinitas Parks, the copy that is there now is the projected. So I'd like to give you our final outcome copy. And it is the ad hoc energized the nonprofit with a new board of directors and a new mission statement to bridge the funding gap for City of Encinitas arts, parks, and recreation initiatives in order to enrich the lives of our residents and contribute to a vibrant community. Renamed the Encinitas Project, the nonprofit is working on a City of Encinitas Memo of Understanding, meeting with PRCA managers to identify needs that could benefit from private and grant funding, developing a marketing plan, and seeking fundraising and grant opportunities. So I'm really excited. A lot has happened with this particular work plan item, and I've been fortunate to be involved in this nonprofit, and we're really excited about the things that it can do for our Parks and Recreation and Cultural Arts Department and our community. Any comments? All right, so we'll move forward with that language. Work plan number 11, our bylaws. The bylaws language that's there currently is the projected outcome language. This particular work plan item is still in process, but we're going to recommend outcome copy as follows. Commissioners, let's see here. Commissioners participated in a joint special meeting on August 8th, 2024 with the Commission for the Arts and the Senior Commission to develop bylaws. The ad hoc also met as well as a committee and again with staff to discuss bylaws development. So that's what we've done so far on the work plan item. We're hoping within the next month to also provide some additional comments on a draft of the bylaws and send that off to staff. Any other comments on that particular one? All right. And then we got down to the last one. Number 12. So this is the naming and use of the La Costa Avenue property. The copy that you see there currently is our projected outcome copy. It's a rather detailed list of things to do. Our final outcome copy that the ad hoc is suggesting is the following. Commission attended the special joint city council meeting on September 25th, 2024 to discuss the city land. The ad hoc worked with staff to identify tribal representatives in order to set up a meeting to begin discussions on potential naming and uses. Due to the double train tracking construction along the edge of the property, it will be a minimum of 4 years before any city work can begin. The commission plans to continue work on future work plans until completion. So this is a work plan item that will definitely move forward into the 2025-2026 plan year. Any other comments on that particular language? Yeah, we were waiting for a little while for City Council to see if there was going to be any resolution on a negotiation between Sandag and CTD and the city. And at this point, nothing's really happening. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with kind of what we think the first step is, and that's meeting with some of the tribal representatives. All right, fantastic. So that got us through the work plan. We are quite far along on that, which I'm really excited that we have a lot of the work not only done, but also the program language nearly finalized. So the February meeting should be even easier. At this point, I'd like to go ahead and move on to informational items, number 9. Starting off with the Parks Operations Report, Manager Norgard.
Thank you, Chair Ritter. Just a couple updates this evening. Over the holiday break, our contractor began working on and has essentially completed the lighting retrofit at Cardiff Sports Park. This was a grant-funded project to replace the high-intensity lighting that's there for the sports fields and replace those with LEDs. We have a little bit of punch list stuff and some cleanup, and there's a couple pedestrian scale lights that are going to be replaced as well, but that project is nearly complete. As a reminder, the Scott Valley Park project, we've awarded a construction contract for that. The engineering department is managing it. Our contractor has ordered the equipment, and we've confirmed that it's in manufacture. The contractor's notice to proceed date will be in early March, so that's when their clock starts ticking to begin site work. So I expect they'll be on site sometime shortly after that, and it'll depend somewhat on what the ETA for the equipment will be. Our native plant demonstration garden project is underway, and we're holding a stakeholder outreach meeting with our consultants and some local interested folks here in February. So expect more updates after that meeting. Tomorrow, we're taking a item to City Council for the Habitat Stewardship Agreement for the next phase of the work. This is agendized, so I can talk about what that means. Staff are recommending we award a contract to the San Diego Botanic Garden for the next phase of the work. The Botanic Garden has been doing this work since 2020. So the next phase of work includes beginning work at the Saxony Road parcel that we own, as well as continuing the maintenance and stewardship efforts at the other parcels that are underway already. And just a light reminder for next meeting in February, because I think we'll probably get through the work plan outcomes pretty quickly, to begin thinking about any work plan items that you'll want for next year so that we can adopt those in March and begin hit the ground running. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Manager Norgard. Appreciate the report. Any questions or comments from the commission?
I was looking at the agenda for the city council meeting tomorrow, and I noticed in public comments there was some emails concerning pickleball at Bobby Riggs, and some of the residents were writing in and it kind of confused me. They were writing in to the city council and to Mayor Ehlers not to close down Bobby Riggs for pickleball. That was, and there was maybe about half a dozen or so. Can you address anything of what's going on with Bobby Riggs and how it affects us?
My understanding of this is pretty light, but what I do know is, my understanding is that that facility is permitted for 7 tennis courts, and they're operating a larger number of pickleball courts than that, and I believe that they're going to be required to obtain a permit for that use.
Okay, that answers my question. So it was a permit issue? Okay,
That's correct.
thank you.
All right, with no other questions, let's go ahead and move over to recreational services. It's nice to see you. It's been a couple months.
Yes, it's wonderful to be back, and Recreation is rolling out some new and innovative programs. Last week, we introduced virtual reality for adults 50 plus. It's a travel series, so each month there'll be a new country they go to. It was Japan last week, and the next month will be Paris, France, to kind of celebrate Valentine's Day. We've also are introducing a new adult soccer league. It will take place on Sundays at Leo Mullen, and it is new. So if you know any soccer players who love to play and want to get out there, we'd love to have them join the league so we can launch and be successful. Some upcoming events are this Friday, January 25th, is the Music by the Sea, hosted by our arts division. That concert will feature the San Diego Music Society, and tickets are online off the city website. Next Saturday, February 1st, 9 to noon, our Youth Commission and Senior Citizen Commission are collaborating together to offer a Teens Teach Tech program. So from 9 a.m. to noon, adults can go in that need help with technology, and they'll get help from teenagers. And that's usually a great mix and collaboration for helping and supporting each other while giving the teenagers a spotlight on their expertise. Then the next week, we will also have Girl Scouts helping with technology. So a lot of interest from our youth to getting our older adults up to speed and just as savvy as they are. Another event that's going to be happening is Saturday, February 8th. This is a collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce. They're going to be hosting a community resource fair out of our community center. Even though it's their event, we do host a table there. So if you're available on the 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can swing by, or if you want to be at the table and outreach to the public, that's available as well. You can just reach out to me by email. We have a lot of save the dates coming up. Most of them should be on your calendar, but a new date that we did secure was for Arbor Day, and that's Saturday, April 5th from 9 a.m. till 12, and that will be at Cardiff Sports Park. We just secured that recently. That is the same. That evening, then we'll have art night. So if you haven't volunteered yet between those two events, you should be able to join us. And since Spring Egg Hunt was mentioned, I'll give you the date for that as well. Saturday, April 19th, and we are hoping for no rain, although we need rain right now, just not on April 19th. So thank you for your participation in the holiday parade. It was a great success. We're excited for the new year and appreciate all the support and encouragement we get from the commission.
Thank you. I would be interested if you might just take a moment to tell us more about the virtual reality program that you're offering those 50 and older.
Yes, we're working with the San Diego Senior Center Foundation. They're actually funding the virtual reality. We had first reached out to them about buying equipment for us to own and offer the programming, and they wanted to donate to introduce through a different company. So it's a travel series, and each month will be a different place to visit. You get a passport if you participate, and we can handle up to 20 people, and we'll have a different theme each month. Again, this was funded through the Senior Foundation, and it is free for those who participate, and we're excited about giving everybody an opportunity to try it out. If it's very popular, we may even look to have it that we do some in-house equipment, and we go beyond just travel. I know you can golf, you can do all kind. You can fly a plane. There's all sorts of adventures you can take in virtual reality, and we think with an older population where maybe they can't physically do some of these activities, to be able to do it virtually would be very exciting. So it's kind of a new realm, but we're excited about trying to check it out.
Well, that sounds really exciting. I'm actually going to do a VR class with Apple tomorrow, so that's why it particularly interests me as to what you were doing. My brother has a VR set that he loves. It's because I'll go travel to Barcelona or whatever, and then he can go there and see it. So I can imagine that that would be a nice resource for the seniors. So thank you for bringing that program. I would say, in mentioning Arbor Day, that was something that, again, I felt like several commissioners actually participated in, so I think that would be another one that we would want to add on the attending city events. And then I think it was only Arbor Day, as you were talking about them. I think we got all the other ones covered, so thank you for that reminder. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Well, great. Thank you for the report, and welcome back. It's good to see you. All right, so moving on down to item number 10. We have no commission-initiated agenda items. And scroll down here a little further. Any future agenda items? I don't think we have any of those either. So we're already to item number 12, Commission Roundtable Reports. I'll go ahead and start at the far end and work down towards me.
You all know that I walk the rail trail quite often, and I noticed a new bench that was installed in memory of somebody. It was quite beautiful, and but I was a little concerned because the angle iron that's anchoring it into the ground didn't seem quite sturdy enough. It seemed like that bench could disappear quite easily. I just want to make that point. And if anybody, I'm talking about trails now, if anybody likes to walk a nice trail out in the Livenhain, there's Spooks Canyon Trail. Yeah. I love that trail because it traverses quite a geographical different kinds of terrain, and then ends up at a creek, which is quite peaceful. And if you ever want to take a book and just sit down there and enjoy the bubbling brook, it's quite nice. I just wanted to throw that out there. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good advertisement from the Trails Ad Hoc. Yeah, it is a really beautiful trail, and certainly wonderful to have as a community asset. Go ahead, Commissioner Evers.
Nothing from me. Thank you.
All right.
I just realized, I guess, that this is the next to last meeting for the year, and that went by really fast, and I was reminded that there's always room for people to volunteer for commissions, and I'm going to do what I can to spread the word, and people who are here today, if you're interested in volunteering, I've gotten a lot out of this, and I've learned a lot about how our city, the hard work they put into providing the services that they do and the spaces that they have, and makes me more proud to be a member of this community and part of Encinitas City. But yes, there's going to be abilities for people to put their name in the ring, so to speak, and suggest that they want to volunteer and be on this commission or any of the other commissions. So I would encourage you to go and try that out. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And actually, that was a beautiful lead-in, because I did want to report for any on the commission that may not be aware, but Vice Chair Hansen will be resigning at the end of this particular term year. So that will open up a spot for someone on the Parks and Recreation Commission this coming year. Of course, in addition to us, there's also additional commissions, Commission for the Arts, the Environmental Commission. I think we're all too old for the Youth Commission, but also the Mobility and something Commission. I can't quite. It used to be Traffic Commission, and it's a bit longer these days. And I'm not quite sure whether the Public Health and Safety Commission is still going to meet again next year. But there are lots of opportunities, and I think what happens is those spots that become available will become available towards the end of January and will be posted so that anyone that wants to apply, that they can apply. And the process involves doing a short written application and submitting that to the city clerk. And then I think it's in the end of February, the mayor will propose a slate, and then the city council will then vote on that slate. So each person that submits an application will have a 3-minute opportunity to speak in front of the city council to kind of speak to their qualifications and why they'd like to join a commission, but certainly is a wonderful opportunity to get involved in the community. The other thing that I was just going to mention a little separately from the work plan item is there's a possibility that BCK programs may do a student presentation to us in February, so I'm still waiting to hear back to see if that scheduling will work. So unfortunately, our November meeting was canceled, so they were unable to attend at their scheduled time, so we're still trying to fit them in before the end of the work plan year. With that, this is probably one of our fastest commission meetings ever. It's 6:15, and I adjourn the meeting. Thank you.